Welcome to the Alo experience, where you can explore, unlock items, and experience mindfulness.
A little more emphasis in my outer hip and glute on the left side, and then when I come back up, it's going to take it to the inside, so we're kind of moving between inner and outer. Hi, and welcome to the Alo experience on Roblox. I'm going to walk you through a simple and easy guided meditation session. For the next minute, we'll be working on a few breathing exercises. Let's begin. Let's start by finding a comfortable seat and taking a deep breath in. Count to 6 as you inhale, and allow the belly and chest to expand. Pause for a moment and slowly begin to release the breath through the nose. Notice how the belly and chest slowly collapse as you gently breathe out. When you're ready, begin to breathe in deeply on the count of 6 and gently let the breath flow through the nostrils as you exhale. One more time. Deep breath in. And when you're ready, slowly breathing out. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I hope you're feeling more connected to the present moment.
right, so first we'll start in Skandasana, just sitting and sinking above your left heel. Open. Press your left shoulder into your left knee. Open across your chest. Good. Now we get weird with it, right? This is the stuff that really works. Fingertips to the mat. so nice. I'm gonna end it here. You can repeat, you can press pause if anything felt particularly good. Thank you for stretching it out with me today. Until next time, namaste. Hey everyone, it's Ashley Galvin. Welcome to Open Hip Stretch. This is going to be a short class, but very effective in opening your inner hips as well as your outer hips. You're not going to need any props, just grab your mat, and we're going to start at the top of it in Malasana. So, if you have trouble, as I just told you, you don't need any props, you might need a blanket. If you have trouble sitting in Malasana and you're more here, it's totally normal. You can roll your mat or put a blanket under your heels. But either way, get as comfortable as you can here. We're gonna sink down nice and deep, so your feet are turned out at slightly a 45. I want you to take your hands to your heart and just start to find a little bit of rocking motion. So I want you to, throughout the whole class, we're gonna find traditional poses, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of different movement, and I really want you to put your own spin and find intuitive movement in it. I say this a lot in class, but something that I do to increase my flexibility is I move, and when I feel that tightness, I'm gonna move just a little deeper and then ease out, a little deeper and ease out. So find that same idea here. So as you rock side to side, you can use your elbows to really assist your knees and hips open even more. And then we're just gonna start to keep your knees open, keep the action of pulling them open, and maybe we can start to crawl your hands out a little further. Well, we can kind of rock our hips to the left and then over to the right. Hands to the inside. Let's start to lift your hips a little bit higher. Dip your chest a little bit lower. So maybe our hips are almost in line with our shoulders, and I'm kind of just bobbing up and down. Let go of whatever this looks like and just feel into it. If anything becomes too much, especially on your knees or your joints, back off. Good. We're just gonna come all the way up, straighten your legs, and fold forward. Good. Step your left foot back. Lower your left knee to the mat, lizard lunge. I want you to work on easing your way down to your forearms if that's possible for you. And then again, we're gonna find a little bit of movement here. So before we go into a twist, I'm just gonna put a little more weight into my right foot, and I'm just sort of leaning to the right, okay? So I'm leaning and finding a little rock, and then backing off. We all have different bodies, so this is going to feel different slightly in all of us. So switch it up if you need to switch it up. If something else is calling you, go for it. To add the twist, right hand to your inner right thigh. As I'm opening my knee, you can see my foot's going in line with it, and I still want to keep that rock. So I can just find a little bit more, opening the inner and then starting to get into your outer hip as well. Let's keep your knee open, and then maybe you can come up on the hands. If I add on and it's too much, skip it and just stay where you were at in the previous pose. So now as you can see, I'm gonna be on my fingertips, and I'm still finding that rock, almost lowering down as if I'm in like a very awkward pigeon, right? So in and out, in and out. Let's ease your way up. Maybe we come to all fours and then switch it out. Left foot forward. Let's inch your right leg down the mat, and we'll start here, working down to the forearms in our lizard lunge. So before we twist, I just want you to find that little bit of rock to the left. So kind of easing in and out. Nice. If we're adding on left hand to your inner left thigh, as I open, I want you to notice that I'm dipping my right hip to the mat. So I'm gonna open my left knee and I'm gonna dip my hip. So I'm sending the weight, or sending my hips almost to the back right corner of my mat. That's gonna put a little more emphasis in my outer hip and glute on the left side. And then when I come back up, it's gonna take it to the inside. So we're kind of moving between inner and outer. Last couple breaths. If you are adding on, we're gonna climb up to the fingertips and then keep that rocking action going. Be lowering your left knee a little closer to the mat. Again, really working further into the outer left hip. Nice. Let's come to all fours. Ooh, if you need, maybe a few hip circles. And we're going to come all the way up into a straddle. Finding a nice wide straddle on your mat. Heels are going to pivot out, toes in just slightly. Give yourself a moment here to fold in. Lengthen the back of your neck. And then we're going to pivot our toes out. Heels in, almost like we're going to enter goddess. We're going to, but not quite yet. So start to pivot your heels in, and as you sink your hips to the height of your knees, I want you to find the shift side to side. So it's very similar to what we were doing in Malasana. Take your hands to your knees. You're going to dip the right shoulder down as I open my right knee a little bit more, and then the left. Good. Heels in a little bit further. We're coming all the way up into goddess. I just want to ease in really deep and then out. So we're finding that maximum sensation and then easing out. It's not really about holding the pose. I'm not trying to strengthen your quads in this one. Just go nice and deep into your hips. Good. Let's take it a little bit wider. Heels are going to pivot out again. We're going to find this like half squat here, almost like a surfer pose. So not quite into Skandasana, just side to side, sinking your weight over your right heel and then your left. Let's go once more each side. We'll take it all the way down, Skandasana, above your right heel. If you can't keep your right heel down, you can find that same idea of a rolled towel under the heel, or even lift your hips up until you can keep your heel grounded. Open across your chest. Use your right shoulder to press on the inside of your right knee and try to move your right knee further behind you to the right. Good. Fingertips to the mat. We're going to start to roll onto the top of your left foot and top of your left thigh, staying on the toes of your right foot. So it's gonna seem a little weird, maybe feel a little weird. So I'm kind of rolling my left hip down and back. So I'm kind of on the knee, just rolling my left hip to the mat and then more open. You can even come all the way back, Skandasana, and then all the way close. So when I add these weird movements, I don't really know what else to call it, I'm just sort of trying to work everything around the pose, all the muscles, all of your tendons and ligaments, and right, opening it up on all sides. I'm just finding this little bit of rolling action. Inside arch of your left foot to the heel. Okay, so we're going knee down, knee up, knee down, knee up. Let's take it to the other side. So first we'll start in Skandasana, just sitting and sinking above your left heel. Open. Press your left shoulder into your left knee. Open across your chest. Good. And now we get weird with it, right? This is the stuff that really works. Fingertips to the mat. Again, we're going to work that knee down, knee up. Okay? Let's go knee down, or you can even think hip down, right hip down, right hip up. If it doesn't look like mine, that's okay. I want it to feel good. I want it to feel purposeful in your body. If anything hurts, back off. Let's go for just the knee now. All right, so we're going toes and right knee up, toes and right knee down. Couple more. Last one. Let's come all the way back up and take it back to our forward fold, widening our stance just a little bit. So not working toward middle split just yet, but maybe halfway there. Find a little rock forward and back, forward and back. You can even take one hand to support you and one in front. And then we're gonna come all the way down in a seated straddle pose. So same idea, I want you to think of leaning forward and maybe even lifting your tailbone a little bit. So we're rolling our pelvic bowl down and then easing out. Rolling it down and then easing out. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's fold right down the middle. Come up halfway. Can you send your heart forward a little bit more? As you send your heart forward and down, can you lift your tailbone up a little bit more? Let's crawl over towards the right. Over towards the left. Nice, we're gonna come up through center. Woo. Bend your right knee. Shift on to your right hip pigeon pose. So take a minute to adjust. And then we're gonna fold in. If you have open hips and you're wanting a little more from pigeon, I want you to work a little deeper into the outer hip. You can start to heel toe your foot forward even more and then really find this squaring action here in the hips. I'm even gonna turn my body to almost face my right knee as I crawl down. And ease your way up. Let's switch it out. Left leg forward, right leg back. Same idea here. Just be mindful when you set it up of your flexibility on each side. They're not always the same. So once you're in your pigeon, again, we're trying to square the hips. If you're open in the outer hips, your front foot can come forward a little more, and you can even start to angle to the left. As I angle to the left, I'm not just turning my body, I'm finding this action of sending my hip back almost to the point of over squaring the hips. Really nice. Ease your way out. Find a little bit here of opening our inner hips. We're gonna work toward our middle split. Don't even let that word split intimidate you at all. No matter how deep or not you are, we're working toward the same sensation. So there's 2 ways of doing it. You can do it toes down or toes up. Maybe there are more ways than that. But anyway, today I'm gonna do toes up because that's what feels best in my body. If toes down feels better in your body, go there. But I'm gonna have that same idea of one hand kind of under my body, one hand in front. So I'm supported here. I don't have to worry about balance. And then slowly, as you can see, I'm lowering onto my forearm. Almost like I'm gonna take the arm balance here, right? But we're not going there. I'm giving a little more support so that I can control. My weight isn't just, gravity's not taking my weight down. I'm supporting my weight. And little by little, I can add more or I can back off. So as I choose how much weight I want to send down, I'm also going to find that rock forward and back. Maybe you can come down onto your forearms. Give your body time. Time and space. Flexibility takes time. There's no way to cheat it. It takes consistency. So make sure that we keep balance in the body and we're not too focused on strength or too focused on the tricks, but we're taking care of ourselves as well and keeping up with our flexibility practice. So add this in to the end of any class or when you don't have time, just to keep the routine on your mat. Little by little, it really, really adds up that repetition. Whew. So nice. I'm gonna end it here. You can repeat, you can press pause if anything felt particularly good. Thank you for stretching it out with me today. Until next time, namaste. Hey everyone, it's Ashley Galvin. Welcome to Open Hip Stretch. This is gonna be a